Sandra, sit down. What I'm about to say is heavy. Now listen. Your son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I think niggas like him should die. Him and Weinstein should get fucked up in a cell for the rest of their life.
Well, that got dark. It's exactly like Drake said, man. This beef has been around for years. We just didn't think it would ever get this far. And it looks like for now, the beef seems to be like slowing down at least. I don't know if it's going to be over. Who knows really what happens from here. But yeah, we got to clap it up for these two, man. These two put on a fucking performance, a fucking masterclass, man. Shit felt like the Super Bowl playing out, but with two rappers. Shit felt like basically L versus Light, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, if the government was using this as like a form of distraction or something, hey man, that shit worked, I'm not gonna lie. Seriously though, this shit was not fucking scripted. It wasn't fucking staged, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. We saw that take a lot at the beginning of this. Obviously a lot less now. I think people kind of see that it isn't, but there's literally zero chance that this shit was like some kind of distraction or was staged or anything like that. I'm not gonna lie though, like if something does come out like that this, or like they have like a hit for hit battle, or they hop in like a celebrity death match or like a boxing ring or a WWE ring, then yeah, maybe we could say that shit's scripted. But for now, until that happens, we know this shit was real, bro. This shit was real beef. Drake and Kendrick have been going through this shit for years. Drake has been sneak dissing, and not necessarily that he didn't deserve it, but yeah, this shit just got out of hand pretty fast, I'm not gonna lie. Because we see just like how much Drake stands to lose from this, or from a battle like this. With how far things got, you know, I think OVO lost like some profit or some stock or some shit like that. And obviously now the allegations that are being brought up against him, yeah, he just did so much more to lose that it's like it got so personal it couldn't possibly be like staged or anything like that. I definitely think there was level like premeditation or something, and I don't even know if that's the word to describe it, but I definitely think Kendrick was aiming for, you know, a friendly competition, but you know, things just got way out of hand, obviously. And if that was his goal, which I really do think it was, to kind of like, you know, light a fire under the rap game that it's kind of been missing for years, he kind of succeeded. Because like, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the most entertaining rap's been in a minute, and Drake hasn't rapped like that in a fucking minute, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, and it's like when Family got involved, the whole like friendly exhibition or whatever it was kind of just went out the fucking window. You know, I can't really blame it all on Drake either, because like that, and just that whole "We Don't Trust You" album kind of like blindsided me. And it's not like I'm saying he didn't deserve it, because he's been sneak dissing for years, but it's like that shit did kind of come out of nowhere. Like, it really feels like when you pick on the quiet kid, and that nigga, you don't expect him to ever respond, you know what I'm saying? You keep going down for years, you keep doing this, you keep doing that. You thinking he not gonna say shit, he just gonna like let it be. But then out of nowhere, like that nigga just come up with the fucking strap, and now you look silly, bro. You look goofy. And throughout this whole beef, you know, there's been a lot of just dick riding on both sides, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm trying to be like as objective as possible. And I'll be honest, bro, Drake really didn't drop like a bad diss. Like, all of his shit was pretty, like his shit was pretty tough, I can't lie. Like Push-Ups, nigga, that shit made waves when it came out, bro. Like, I'm not about to sit up here and just, you know, just dick ride and say he ain't have no good songs or anything like that. Like the Metro Shit Show has something, make some drums, nigga. Like, that was a bar, bro. It was a bar. But, you know, when you have a battle like this, especially against Kendrick, it's all perception at that point. And I just think Drake has been like losing the audience for years, man. Like, we gotta be real, Drake damn near a fucking meme at this point. And it's all about how he portrays himself. And even with that being said, you know, Drake technically still has way more fans. I mean, that's not even a debate. You could argue his music is more listenable than Kendrick's, but, you know, at the end of the day, Kendrick has way more respect around, like, the rap sphere and, like, just the general public. And the perception is he's just winning right now. And this is nothing new, honestly. Like, people have been looking for excuses to bring on the downfall of Drake, like, for years now. This is, when Kendrick said, "I'm with the culture feeling," like, he wasn't lying. Like, this is some real shit. This is what people have been, you know, looking for years. And it's just like, you know, Kendrick didn't have to do much, like, if we're being honest. He could have came on here and made some average diss tracks, but I think people still would have listened. Yeah, the general consensus around the internet is just that Kendrick's winning or Kendrick won. But I think there's a lot more people who are on neither side that are just would rather see Drake lose than they really care about Kendrick winning. And that's where the idea of perception comes in. You know, Kendrick is always going to be, you know, that guy that people respect more. I think Drake was playing an uphill battle from the start. And that's not to say he couldn't have won, but, you know, it was going to be really hard for him. And all that to kind of say, like, hey, man, Kendrick, he dropped some bangers too. Like, he dropped some just layered shit, you know, as we were expecting from Kendrick. But at the end of the day, I really think it's just the energy Kendrick came with. Like, I'm going to be real. He just made me feel like he really hated this nigga. Like, he really felt that shit. You really felt that shit when you listen to all of his diss tracks. Like, personally, I think they came at this with two completely different just energies. I'm sure Drake probably does hate Kendrick, but not in the same way Kendrick actually has a problem with him. I just don't think Drake ever really took this that seriously, and I think the problem after that was he made it personal, so it's like you can't not take it seriously, but also make it personal. Honestly, I think things just spiraled out of control like a long time ago, and now Drake just has to deal with the consequences, man. Like, people are gonna start calling him, you know, that P word, you know, people are gonna call him predator and all that shit, and it is what it is. Like, I don't know what he can do. And it's like, I don't really know the extent to, you know, if that is that true or not. You know, we've seen the footage, you know, we know the public perception of Drake, and we know the things he's done. Kind of, you know, at the very least, it makes you think. It's gonna make you question him. And it's like, at the end of the day, whether that 11-year-old shit was true or not, whether, you know, whatever Kendrick said was true or not, again, it's all about perception. People are more willing to believe Kendrick and what he's saying than they want to believe about what Drake and he's saying. And obviously, you know, one of those things is not like the other. The wife beating allegations and the predator thing, they're both bad, don't get me wrong, but, you know, one of those no one really has any proof on. Like, we can't even remotely like try and prove that shit. The other one, there's just been too much evidence mounting against it, and it's like, it's just not a good look, man. It's not a good look. And I gotta say, man, you know, regardless of anything else that comes out, this is probably like over at this point. I don't think this rap beef will continue, you know, because I look at a line like this and like, this is just true, bro. Like, Drake kind of finished himself with this one. Kendrick really doesn't need to respond anymore. And regardless of how you feel about the Hard Part 6 or, you know, whatever he said in that song, bro, he basically just bowed out, man. He basically said, I'm done. I'm not gonna argue with you. You know, you hurling some crazy allegations against me, and Drake really shouldn't keep responding, I'm gonna be honest. All I know is people saying Kendrick won, but we all know J. Cole's the real winner here.
Had to find a new hoe, I ran out of options. You ain't gotta take it there, all you do is pop shit. All your niggas told on you, you don't even pop shit. Get the bag on touchdown, I like playing offense. All my plays is locked in.